It's a podcast.
Not that it matters,
Nick, this isn't a band.
but I'll miss you.
We need to record.
I didn't love you,
What?
but I kinda liked you.
That's something.
I miss you.
Okay. Nick,
Not as much as other people who really loved you and wanted you to stay alive. I miss you.
okay.
I miss you.
Nick, let's record.
Introducing the new heavyweight champions of podcast.
Could not stand that at all.
Not that it matters.
That was
Because I miss you. Not as much as some other people who really love you and wanted you to stay alive. I miss you.
that was so fucking fun.
I don't know how that string of words just kind of came out and ended up working pretty well. It wasn't planned at all.
Just popped into the old Nagaroony.
Like you could, because how could I have planned not as much as some other people who really loved you and wanted you to stay alive? Jake
my-
Woodford. I'm very interested in that guy. Sexually.
Sexually, he is a tall drink of water.
Yeah, he was a first round pick in 2015. The same year we
Got some long
drafted
hair.
huh?
He's got some long hair.
Yep. Our top three picks our top three, he's in AAA, he's good. He's like 23. Our first round pick that year was Nick Plummer. He's been a fucking disaster. Our second round pick, Bryce Denton, also a disaster. Third round pick, Jordan Hicks.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And then right after that, Ryan Helsley, I think.
He's been pretty
who's
good
also
for
been
us
very good.
in the old bullpen.
Well, he had old Tommy John last year, so that made it tough. He won't be back till the All-Star break.
Well, if you guys can't tell, we're watching the Cardinals spring training game.
Oh, are we recording?
Yeah.
We're watching Baseball.
Baseball. Cardinals are currently up 11-0.
They are up 11-0 in a spring training game, so obviously that's a very important stat.
Yep. So basically, that's what. Why are you just squeezing a comb
Oh, yeah.
or a brush?
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that. I can tell in your voice you are turned on.
I'm very interested in this comb.
It's like a hand ASMR.
I got a note today on my script that I've clearly been in a relationship with a girl like at an advanced age because I have her going in the bathroom and she gets annoyed with her brush and tries to figure out where her wet brush is, like the brand. And the girls were like, "Yeah, that's like that rings super true."
I don't even know what that means, and I've been dating a girl for 5 years.
Yeah, well, I dated a girl
Almost
for the same,
5 years.
but I was gonna say I lived with one and you did too. So I'm surprised. Maybe Brandon doesn't use wet brush.
I don't think so.
They're basically like this, but it's a brand. You've probably seen them.
Oh,
it says like
probably.
wet brush on the handle, and it's like meant to brush your hair when it's wet. Like, and
Oh, okay. I couldn't pick that up from the
but
name.
it doesn't do very well when it's dry, and it detangles your hair in some specific way that I don't understand, and I wish I did.
Makes your hair look super cute.
But I have her like going through this process of getting ready while she's talking to the dead person in her bed. But they're like, "Oh, you were even smart enough to know that she would do her hair first, her makeup second, and like how she would do it."
Oh yeah,
Because like if
I
you've
would know that,
dated
too.
a girl, you would know
Yeah.
that. Also, even if like, because I have her wearing the makeup from the night before, and you'd think, oh, she would take that off and then get ready, but no, she would do her hair, then take it off, put on the new makeup.
Yeah.
It's like you've clearly been in a relationship with like lived with a girl.
And you were like, you are correct.
That's not
ladies.
wrong. Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Did you call them ladies?
Ladies,
They'd probably not be none too pleased
ladies
with
and
that.
germs. Because I'm from the 50s.
Ladies and germs. Now, if you're from the 50s, you would have called them broads.
No, ladies and germs. That's what they used to say.
For real?
Yeah. Hello, ladies and germs, and welcome to another. Like that's they would
And
introduce
welcome to another episode of Not That It Matters.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Not That It Matters. Hello, ladies and germs.
We are currently watching America's Game.
Yeah, America's Game.
Baseball.
Baseball. I think America's Game is more go into third world countries and wreck them.
Ooh,
That's our favorite game.
That's our fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play a global game of Risk where we have all more characters than everybody else.
Yeah, we do.
With more troops.
Yeah, we have our game is whose army is bigger.
Yeah, we're like we're like a civilization.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you have like
A civilization.
I realized that I said that.
A civ.
Yeah, where we have like our entire technology tree filled out, and we just like going into people that don't have the nuke yet, just fucking them up.
Yeah, which is the last thing you get, right? Once you have your technology tree.
Nuke is pretty high, but
Yeah, I think nuke is the last one.
I
At
think
least
it's the last
on like
for weapons.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're going that direction, which if you're going to war, that's what you need.
Yeah, more power to you.
Yeah, dude, just get that fucking nuke.
Or you could just
science it up.
get a space program.
That's what I do every time.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I try to do the is it like the social one?
Yeah, there's a social one.
Yeah, where I always do it where like I create a religion super early on, and I try to gain followers.
Oh yeah, every time I do that though,
Jerusalem.
they always end up going to war with other people because of their religion.
You just start religious wars.
Yeah, I just start like crusades, which I think is fair.
You're like, God, it's like the 7th one.
Yeah, I mean,
we're just fucking up the Christians now.
I mean, how many? There were 4, so I mean, it's not that far off.
Yeah, there was one where the Christians, I mean, they gave them a run for their money and they won. And then
there were 2 that they won.
I thought
2 that they left.
I thought they only won the first one and then they just got the shit kicked out of them.
No, they won. I think they lost the first one and they won the second one and held the Holy Land and then got driven out. And I think that's what it was. And then they went back, and so it was like the first one they went, they lost. The second one they went, they won. And then the third crusade was the Muslims, and like I think that was Saladin coming at them. I'm probably getting all this wrong, but I think.
Probably.
And then the fourth one, I think, is them trying to go back and they lost. And that's when the Knights Templar fell.
Yeah. So that was, what year was that? That was Friday the 13th.
1970.
It was like, I don't know.
It was like the 1400s. Was the last one.
That's what 2012 was, right?
Yeah,
It was December 21st, 2012.
We all went to the Holy Land.
When the Templars lost.
At a holy war. So stupid.
End of the world.
I hate religion for that reason. That's like the biggest reason I hate religion.
That's what I love religion like for. I love religious wars.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's just Alex getting on his old soapbox about religious wars.
That's right. What if I wish I could just hang it like this.
You literally want to hold a Bruce Buffer mic?
No, I
Or a
want it to be like
Michael Buffer.
I always remember those music videos from the 90s. It'd be like Stained or somebody, and they'd be like, "And this is how you remind me."
Well, this is an audio podcast, so for the listener, Nick was holding the mic cable and then just dangling the mic in front of his mouth.
Yeah, like a real bad bitch.
I was going to say an asshole.
Well, those are the same thing. I've never met a bad bitch that wasn't an asshole.
Or vice versa.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Not That It Matters. I'm your host, Alex Panyu, and with me as always is my co-host, Nick Lanham.
Hi, I'm a writer.
My
name's Nick. I go to Chapman. I write things.
I didn't know I sounded so hot.
So, Alex, this week, obviously, we're going to be talking about Gerard Way.
Let me just talk over you and make sure you know what I'm thinking about, because what I'm thinking about is comedy. Have you listened to Jim Norton lately? Nick, I have a new podcast for you. It's the same 5 podcasts I listen to every day.
Hey, Alex, I have some quick tips. You're going to want to go down the highway. Don't crisscross.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Took a minute.
I was like...
That is a joke about suicide.
I was for a second, I was like, do you think sometimes that I'm giving you advice on how to drive better?
Probably. I'm a very bad driver.
You are a terrible driver.
I love texting.
It's insanity. Like the times in which you think it's safe to text when you're driving
Oh, it's not great.
are all of the times.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
not
problem.
good.
No.
But
it really
driving
bothers
is
me.
so boring.
Do you know what I've noticed that I only really do it with you is I sometimes like attempt to apply the brake from the passenger seat because you brake so late sometimes because you're sitting there texting.
Well, I will say it doesn't happen as much whenever I'm like by myself in a car. I'm usually like pretty good.
Yeah.
I just get so distracted when somebody else is there.
When you're in the car by yourself, you talk about how you watch Netflix.
No, I don't watch Netflix.
Or like YouTube videos.
I'll put on like a video podcast, and I'll occasionally glance at it.
Oh no, I feel like you told me on the way out here when we moved out here you were watching Netflix the whole time.
Oh, maybe through like Utah,
Like
when there's like nobody there. I've never like watched a TV show, but
I don't know.
There's probably been a couple instances where I have.
I guarantee you have.
I don't know why I just mumbled instances.
Instances what I have.
There's probably been some instances when I've done that.
Dude, I really want to watch Air Bud.
You want to watch Air Bud?
Kind of.
Which one?
All of them.
I was gonna say because there's like Air Bud. Back to basics.
Was there ever one where they just played football and just grown men tackling a dog?
That would be fun. There's the basketball one. There's the one when he plays on the Women's World Cup team, and the goalie gets injured, so they have to bring in a dog.
A dog. I love that back then, though. I remember thinking that was like a really uplifting film. I was like, he's got it. As like a child, I was like, fuck yeah.
Well, there's the one where it's like a little kid and he realizes that his dog. It's the basketball one when he realizes his dog can play basketball.
Oh yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah,
it's the first one.
So the first one is
the first one is a dog playing basketball on a child's basketball team.
Do you remember the?
I guess on his hind legs, he's probably the same height as normal children.
Yeah, but not grown men that play basketball.
He's not playing with grown men in the first one, is he? I thought he's only on a kids team.
Oh, is it a kids team? That would make more sense.
Maybe not. Which is the one where where the dogs are lost and they have to like run through
Homeward Bound?
Homeward Bound. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's like a dog and a cat.
I think it's 2 dogs and a cat.
2 dogs and a cat?
Yeah. They talk like humans.
Yeah. It's like a cat, a golden retriever, and a beagle.
Is that what it is? I think it might be like a Saint Bernard or something. It's a bigger dog.
I thought it was like a bloodhound, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a cat. It's a floppy ear dog. Yeah, I think.
And then there was Cats and Dogs where they fight.
Yes. Then there was Fox and the Hound.
Then there was Cats versus Dogs. Dawn of Justice.
Cats v Dog.
Dogs of Steel.
Dogs of Steel.
Suicide Cats.
Justice Dogs.
Justice Dogs.
Well, this is a comic book podcast, so we had to
Dogs Ragnarok.
pop on Dogs Ragnarok. Iron Pup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dylan Carlson with another hit. Look at that bitch run. Look at that bitch run. Look at him.
Dogs, the Age of the Vacuum.
Oh yeah, the Age of the Vacuum.
Vacuum's the villain.
Yeah, for real though.
It's just a dog mom cleaning up her place with a Dyson.
Oh God, isn't that the dream for a film?
That would be so funny.
This is a podcast. I did intro it.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. This is
like
a
10 minutes
podcast
ago.
where sometimes we like to talk about comic books. Sometimes we like to talk about sometimes we like to talk about music, but other times we like to talk about movies and TV.
Australian cinema.
Let's talk about Australian cinema.
The movie Australia
There's
starring
Crocodile
Hugh Jackman.
Dundee. Crocodile Dundee 2. Australia, the film, of course. There's that movie with Nicole Kidman and Dev Patel, Lion. It's called Lion.
Leon.
Yep. That's in France.
There's also Kangaroo Jack.
There's Kangaroo Jack. There's also the very famous and long-running shows Home and Away and Neighbors.
There's also the TV show Lost, when John Locke goes on a walkabout in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, he does. And then The Leftovers has a season that's set in Australia.
They do.
Where you find out that the main character is essentially Leftovers Jesus.
Yes, of course.
He keeps trying to kill himself, and he just goes to some hotel in heaven.
Fuck, that show's great.
That show's great. I'm thinking about rewatching it soon because
That's
it really
a solid rewatch. I've only seen it one time.
Oh yeah. I remember we started it at my old apartment.
Yeah, and then I went balls deep
'cause I'd
on
already
it.
seen it, yeah.
I watched it in like a month.
It's so good.
It's really good. The writing's terrific.
The writing's incredible. That's when Lindelof, I feel like, really became like his own thing.
Yeah.
Because in Lost, I don't feel like it wraps up all that great.
You don't think it wraps up all that great? It's terrible.
Yeah. I was being nice. But he also was left with like their problem was they did the J.J. Abrams like mystery box thing where they're like, oh, what's this going to end up being? Oh wait, nothing. What's that smoke monster? That's like the big thing early in the show.
Yeah,
and it's really nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nothing. A lot of that stuff is like Desmond and all that kind of stuff. Like you think it's going to be that's going to dominate the whole show.
Others, like,
all that stuff. It all kind of ends up going nowhere. I mean, it take a lot of times it's a mystery box that you open up and it like Russian dolls into another mystery box that goes nowhere. It's like you peel this onion of the show back to find that inside of the onion is a mystery box.
I think it would have probably been better if it ended on a question mark. Like if it just ended on another mystery box opening instead of just being like, JK, they were all dead. So then like you go back and you think about the show through that lens and you get fucking viscerally angry.
I think it should be that you find out JK, it was all just that Hurley was hallucinating from eating like a really bad taco. Like he had like really bad food poisoning.
But on the
and he's
TV show The Oz?
No. It's just the character Hurley imagined this entire thing, and he just really has food poisoning.
That'd be fun.
Didn't Weezer make one of their albums just him? Isn't it just called Hurley with his face on the cover?
Is it for real?
I think so. I think Weezer just
What a weird band.
I love Weezer.
Yeah,
their
fun.
old stuff's really, really good. And
like
then they
Buddy
became
Holly, that like original.
I don't know, like Pinkerton, all that stuff way early on. Like Buddy Holly, I guess is pretty early too. But
isn't it just the second album?
Pinkerton?
No. It's Pinkerton. Then there's the one right after.
I can't remember.
I can't remember what they're all called. It's like a green cover, I think.
Yeah, I can't. All their albums sort of run together for me, and then like there's a point at some point where they become a very different band. They become the Island in the Sun Beverly Hills band.
I like that. I like that.
I like that
too.
Don't get me wrong, but I'm just. And then Rivers Cuomo did like that. I got the magic in me.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, he did it with some rapper. I think maybe it's B.O.B.
It is B.O.B. Yeah. Hi. Does he still believe that the Earth is flat?
I mean, if he does, I do.
You take all of your scientific theory from B.O.B.?
Of course I do.
That's fair.
I like to believe that there's airplanes in the night sky and they're like shooting stars.
Yeah, but wait.
I could really use a wish right now.
But he wouldn't believe in shooting stars. He would think that it's like a projection on a dome.
Well, isn't the dome, isn't there like space beyond that though?
No.
What is it? What are we just on like this flat spinning
they
disc?
think we live in a dome. They think that like everything's a projection.
Until now, I wasn't sure, but I've decided flat earthers are wrong.
You finally did it. Did you watch that documentary Behind the Curve?
Yeah,
or Beyond the Curve.
Mm-hmm, Beyond the Curve.
That's a real funny one. There's that one.
I mean, it's funny, but it's also disturbing because you're like there's people that believe this.
Well, I just think
was
that
it
Mark
Draymond? Which NBA player came out? Steph? No,
yeah. Steph for a little bit was a flat earther.
There was somebody that was big. That was like really into it. Maybe it wasn't Draymond Green. Maybe it was
Kyrie
Iguodala. Oh, maybe it was Kyrie.
I think Kyrie was super into it.
Yeah.
My favorite part is that Mark Sargent guy that would go to like Flat Earth Con and he would wear a t-shirt that said "I am Mark Sargent."
Yep.
And he would have fucked that redhead lady really bad. And she was like,
weird.
He's such a good friend.
It's so strange to me, that whole thing.
Oh, it's so fun.
So what I was getting to though is sometimes we do comic books on this podcast.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes we do music. We haven't done that in a while. We've only done it a few times, and it's only really been one band. But and then I guarantee you, the next time we do it, it's that same band because we're finishing it up.
Yeah, we have to.
Next week we'll do that. Next week we're going to do as a little tease, a little sizzle.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Radio Man.
Thank you. Mr. Radio Man's my father, as you already know.
Sorry.
What up, Tim?
Sorry, Radio.
Yeah, just Radio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm the character Radio.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna finish up our My Chem discography. We've done the Black Parade. We've done 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. We've done Danger Daz.
And the infamous lives of the fabulous Killjoys.
The fabulous Killjoys.
Yes.
And then finally next week we will finish that up doing their first and last albums that they've ever released. Technically, Conventional Weapons was recorded before Danger Days, but
technically,
yeah, but it came out after. So we're gonna do I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, and
that sounds
Conventional
weirdly
Weapons.
Sexual.
It does. And like darkly sexual. But
yeah.
So if you guys want to go and listen to those albums, you can follow along with us and hear our thoughts and hear us. It's not a reaction, but just a review of the albums. And then we finally did it all.
Deep dive into the music.
Yeah.
Go through the lyrics.
Maybe
see how they stand up.
Maybe I'll get Alex to do the Mad Gear and Missile Kid EP too.
What's that?
So when they
Is
did
that the first thing?
No, when they did Danger Days, they decided they had some like extra songs left over. So they decided that that they would be a band within Danger Days called the Mad Gear and Missile Kid.
I hate that.
And they have 4 extra songs. They're all like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And they're just 4 songs. And there's like Masters of Ravencroft or something like that. There's a few of them. They're really fun. They're just like they're kind of fun. Like
are the songs
punk.
as good as that band that we looked at last night?
Oh, Anal Cunt?
Yes. I didn't want to be the one to drop.
I don't mind.
I haven't dropped a C-bomb in a while. I figured you could
take the reins of the C-bombs.
Cunt.
Start playing the Enola Gay of C-bombs.
Oh, how dare Nick? Enola homosexual.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
So stupid.
But yeah, Anal Cunt's a great band.
Yeah.
We found they're very funny.
Yes, very funny.
They have
Song
so
number
many.
5.
I like that their lead singer Seth Putnam.
You like that he's dead?
No,
Nick, how dare
I'm
you?
very upset by that because he's man. If he's nothing, he's got some great band names in him. Because he was also in a band called You're Fired and a band called Adolf Satan.
Adolf Satan,
which is my favorite. Adolf Satan,
and it's just the worst music ever.
I don't think it's. I can't tell if he like really isn't. It's like Gwar. Like, are they really? You know, like Attila or any of those bands.
They're doing it like for shtick.
Well, but it's like, and it's because like Gwar is like, it's kind of good music, and Attila's the same way, but they're also making fun of music at the same time. Whereas Anal Cunt, I think, is not doing that.
Terrible.
It's like disgusting, like grindcore. I hate grindcore. And I love metal. I'm a big metalhead, but I hate grindcore. It's literally just
like, it's like somebody shitting into an amplifier.
Well, and it's all so horribly gain heavy that it's not really like, there's not even like any like discernible notes to it, and it's just shrieks. It's not even like good screams.
There are a couple of goofy fucking kids.
Do they think
they're
that they're
nuts?
Sorry, these people on TV were just, they didn't realize that they were being, I don't think they realized that cameras can shoot motion, because they were holding up thumbs up and just like waiting and just like staying
waiting for
still.
the picture to be taken.
Yeah. I think they were probably like, this is a TV camera, you dunce. But as I've said, we do comics sometimes.
Oh, yes,
we do
do.
music. We'll do that next week. But there are other times where we do movies and we do TV.
Yes, we do.
And you know what? That's one of these times. And this time we're going to delve into a world that I am much more into than Alex. But
Yes.
I think he's getting more into lately.
I'm getting more into it.
I think you also.
We've also watched a lot of them.
I think Living With Me is probably as dark as I am. I feel like it's going to rub off on you a little bit.
Oh yeah,
What's the darkest thing that you probably didn't like before we met, and now that you do like? The Biologic show?
Yeah, the Biologic show's up there. The whole the Conjuring-a-verse is pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, and Paranormal Activity verse.
Paranormal Activity I could really give less of a shit about.
You seemed pretty into it when we watched it.
Oh, we watched 4 of them.
We watched 3 of them.
3 of them.
Actually, we
whatever.
didn't. We watched the first and the third.
Oh yeah,
We skipped the second one. I told you what happened.
but yeah, we watched those, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I get why people enjoy them. They're just not. I don't think they're for me. I'm not really like a found footagey guy.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it's like What We Do in the Shadows,
Chronicle.
documentary, style stuff.
Like Chronicle.
Chronicle's okay.
The effects really don't hold up in that movie, unfortunately.
No.
But it was made so cheaply, and it
It was made for like $5 mil, right?
Yeah, you have to give them a lot of credit just to be able to get that done.
Yeah.
And make it look good.
But yeah, so I mean, we're doing horror. If you didn't pick up on
Doing
that,
horror films
and
TV series.
yes, and
Our favorites, basically.
yeah. Well, what other horror TV shows really are there? American Horror Story, I guess.
Yeah, American Horror Story.
That's Ryan Johnson, right?
Salem,
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy.
I always say
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson. Ryan Murphy.
Salem. What's the one? The Sinner. The Outsider.
Is The Sinner horror?
Yeah, it is. I think what a lot of people forget is that horror doesn't have to be physical. That psychological horror is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And those are usually my favorite. I think like, because you have to, and like there's the horror, especially these days, genre bending is such a big deal. Like I would 100% say Annihilation is a horror film.
That's like a biological horror
Like
film.
a sci-fi horror. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a horror
cool
film
one.
for sure. There are some terrifying moments in that movie.
Yeah,
multiple.
You could also put all the aliens.
Yes,
in horror,
I would
yeah.
definitely say they're horror films. Monster movies are also horror films. Like Jason and all that. That's horror.
So 2017's The Mummy, or whenever that came out. Tom Cruise Mummy?
The Dark Universe. Yeah. I don't know about that, man.
We're very quickly in this, and I peed right before. I already have to pee.
Dude.
I know.
All right.
All right, 1 second.
Magic.
Okay, Nick. So Nick waited just to do that.
I waited for the little
annoying.
tap.
Sorry about that, even though you guys did notice a little bit. Okay, Jesus Christ. But
did you just call me Jesus Christ?
I did.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
I mean, Papa's on his 5th cup of coffee today.
Oh my God.
I know. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd French press. I've been just turning and burning coffee today.
I tried a new flavor of Monster today.
Ooh.
It's like a teal Monster that's brand new.
Ah, okay.
It's like I forgot what they called it. It's pretty good. It reminds me of a rock star.
Oh, I fucking
like,
hate rock
like a more
stars.
fruity version of a Rockstar, and not rock stars always have like a weird aftertaste.
Yeah,
Never gotten a Rockstar.
I used to drink them in high school a bunch. I worked at a ski resort, and we could just fucking take them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was just drinking a shit ton of those a week.
They're good. I mean, they're
okay,
fine.
But I mean,
they were
they're
a
so
clear third, I would say.
It's so sweet because
Monster and Red
Rockstar
Bull.
doesn't have a like a zero sugar version, right?
They probably do now, but back when
They
like,
did not
were,
back then,
No,
yeah.
nobody did then. Red Bull was the first, and then Monster has a way better version of that. Like their Monster Zero version is the best of the zero ones, I would say.
Yeah,
Because Monster's better than Red Bull, I think, by far. I think Red Bull's good.
I fucking do love a Red Bull, though.
I do too. But
Yeah, they're tasty.
I also was a big. Did you ever drink Balls back in the day
Balls?
with a Z? Do you remember those?
I didn't drink them. I gargled them, though.
Yeah, of course you did. You're really on the gay like jokes today. I feel like.
I've been thinking a lot about
the
guys.
Enola homosexual, I believe, was one that you made earlier,
That is true.
which I have a feeling you're going to cut out because it's kind of offensive.
Is it?
Yeah,
Not really. It's just,
Enola homosexual.
it's just word association.
We'll see if it makes
I'm
it
going to
in.
have to cut it out.
We'll see, and then which means you're going to have to cut all this out. So let's just keep talking about it.
I'm not going to cut it out.
Oh man, you know what's funny? We're doing horror movies and TV
are.
shows. I think okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing with that. I don't know why I was covering my mouth and then trying to talk in the microphone.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, my thing with that is horror is tough because it's I would argue outside of comedy, I'd say more so than comedy because it's a more limited genre. It's the most subjective. Some people hate horror altogether. People like you. I'm saying like for people to like it. Some people only can get into like psychological horror. Some people can do it all. Some people only like the Stephen King sort of like creepy monster stuff, or they like the H.P. Lovecraft like really sort of like artsy poetic horror. And then there's other people that just really like slasher shit, like gore films,
Like Hostel and Saw and all that shit.
Oh, well, that kind of stuff too. Actually, I was more going to say like Freddy and Jason and all that stuff.
yeah.
You know, Michael Myers.
People like The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, I think horror is the most subjective of all those kind of genres. There's nobody that just doesn't like a funny movie, like some kind of funny movie.
Yeah. Like,
But there's people that will just not do horror at all.
everyone, to at least an extent, likes to laugh.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
and they like to see like a serious film.
yeah.
You know.
But not a lot of people, myself included, do not like being scared. I fucking hate it.
Or even
a
unsettled.
fan.
You know what I mean? Like where you like watch a movie to make you feel uncomfortable.
I can be uncomfortable. I don't like being
I'm saying
scared.
there's plenty of people that don't like that when they
yeah,
watch
yeah,
a movie.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so like that's why horror. I want to make that plain ahead of time. Like we're gonna try and cover like all of our favorite stuff, but there's plenty of other stuff that we're gonna leave out because we have our own taste in what we like in horror.
Yeah, I mean, I would say my genre, like I like the psychological kind of horror stuff. I like anything paranormal.
I like paranormal
that.
stuff, ghosts.
The murder stuff is what really like gets me. Like,
Like Seven is a great. I'd say Seven's a horror film.
Fucking hate
Like
that
psychological
movie.
horror?
I hate that much. I hate that movie so
I
much.
love that, but we've talked about it multiple times on the podcast. I know, but we
ay,
both saw that
ay.
at such a young age.
I know.
because it was one of those movies to like watch as a kid. You're like, if you
Yeah.
can get your hands on Seven, you should watch it.
Yeah,
you know?
because it's so fucked up.
You know what I miss about that, and I've heard other podcasts talk about it. Do you remember when like we were like the tail end of that generation where like if you wanted to get something, you had to go find it. Like
we were
comics,
we
like
were
you'd have
the
to go
very
find
last.
them.
Yeah.
Like it was cool to like go and like find the shop or like a con or something that had this comic you were trying to find or this movie that you knew.
Just
like,
anything. Porn.
yeah, well, porn, I guess.
Well, yeah,
I never had, like go
just-
find porn when I was younger.
Well, like online.
Yeah, I guess
Like,
you have
it's
to,
just, like,
seek it
hard
out
to find. Yeah.
Now it's all just contained in like
It's
one
just
website
super
pretty
easy.
much. But
you can find fucking porn on Google.
books were that way a lot, especially because back then, like I remember people telling me to go try to find The Handmaid's Tale, like in like middle school.
Oh, for real?
People, yeah, like people that knew I liked books would be like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this book, The Handmaid's Tale?" And it wasn't as they had it like Barnes and Noble and stuff, but like. I was trying to find like a copy of it, and I had like search, like Barnes and Noble had it online, but I wanted to find like, so I went to like this bookstore called the Book House in St. Louis and Rock Hill, which is now gone, but it was an actual house, and it would every piece of every wall was just covered in shelves of books. Every room was a different genre. Cool. The upstairs and downstairs also had different stuff.
Is it closed?
Yeah, it's gone. They demolished the house. I think there's still a Book House store, but it's like a brick and mortar store in Maplewood. Oh, okay. It's not the same thing where it was like an actual just a house that you walked into.
That would be cool as fuck.
It was really cool.
That's such like a romanticized version of a bookstore.
It was beautiful. And there's a lot. And they had a lot of really old books. It was cool. Like a lot of old like Agatha Christie and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Shout out Agatha.
Yeah, what you up to, girl? Where'd you go for those 2 weeks or whatever it was that you disappeared?
Yeah.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah, because she's never really said, right?
Well, she's dead, so she'll never say.
Well, she never.
There's like ideas she went to like some hotel or some shit and like lived under a different name for like 2 weeks or something. She kind of had like a break, like a mental break or something, I think.
Weird. Or maybe she like got it like onto drugs for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, what was the drug? It would have been like opium then. There weren't many.
That would definitely be a drug where you would disassociate and not like want to go back to your family for a while. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Fucking opium.
Yeah.
Have you ever done opium?
Not opium.
No. Opium's just like it's just like oxy, but like you smoke, right? Kind of.
Sort like of. Opium is the.
Is it a barbiturate?
Opium is what heroin is. What opium, like heroin is based off opium. Like
opium is like the active in
in heroin.
That's why heroin came to the U.S. so much. It was because people were bringing opium back from the Middle East, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Far East.
Yeah.
That's huge there still.
Yeah, because they have opium dens where you just go in there and you fucking rip opium.
Yeah, and they have like beds there for you to just fucking just go insane on while you're on opium. And
nuts business model. I just have cots and toilets and people.
Yeah, and you just shit and piss and fall asleep on opium.
Yeah,
and only to never wake up. But so let's get into horror. I will let you start.
What, just with
like what's the first one you want to talk about that you really like?
I say we go into like the Conjuring universe.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good place to start
because that one also like it weaves and it has so many spin-offs and
for my money, the first one might be the scariest movie of all time.
I would say it is.
Yeah, I would say
that movie is fucking terrifying.
If not, there is a short list that are alongside it as the scariest of all time. Because Hereditary is pretty scary.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, you need to watch it. I need to. You should.
But also any time where there's like creepy kids will fuck my brain up.
Oh yeah.
I don't like them at all. Definitely. But the Conjuring universe is just like a great, super like subtle. I mean, there are like pretty hard like jump scares, a couple of them.
No, there are a lot.
Yeah.
Especially the further you go.
Once you get later, once like the nun gets involved.
They're really jump scare heavy.
There's that whole scene when what's the family that they're portraying?
The Warrens?
The Warrens, yeah.
Ed and Lorraine Warren?
Yeah. When Elizabeth Warren is
Elizabeth Warren, yes. R.I.P. to her campaign just ended today.
Yes, R.I.P. But she's like in their house, like in the office.
Yeah.
And like there's the painting of the nun on the wall.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
The lights keep turning off and you just see the eyes on the painting.
Yeah.
And then like she walks closer to it. It's just a painting. And
they do a great job with building the anticipation and the tension in that one because there's multiple times you're like, okay, now it's the nun, and it's still just a painting.
I just got chills, from thinking of like because the nun, like it's always the painting
in The Conjuring 2. You're talking about not the movie The Nun.
Oh yeah, and The Conjuring 2.
The Conjuring 2.
And then the nun got her own movie because
terrible.
That bitch was creepy.
That movie's really bad.
Oh, the nun.
And the nun is
yeah. Dude, it looked fucking. Oh yeah,
it's really rough.
Dude, it gives me
the
fucking
Annabelle
chills.
Movies aren't very good either.
They're not. Are they all James Wan?
No,
he just does the Conjurings.
So yeah, I think
he doesn't. He just produces and writes the other ones.
I don't even know if he writes them all.
But yeah, so the whole fucking Conjuring universe is like a great modern little franchise that just is just raking in money.
For horror films especially, which is good because most of the Conjuring movies are pure R. And so R-rated films, you're already cutting down the like opportunity for revenue for your film for like a box office return. And luckily the Conjuring movies aren't made for that much money. They're pretty cheaply made. And
The Conjuring?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear this ratio?
Sure. For the first one?
No. I'm going to do the whole universe.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So the whole universe has what, like 8 movies?
Sure.
Something like that?
Yeah,
let me
something
count.
like that.
1, 2, 3. So we have a Conjuring, Conjuring 2, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Annabelle, Annabelle Creation,
The Devil
Annabelle
Made Me
Comes
Do It.
Home.
Is that out yet?
No, it comes out September 11th, 2020. Never forget that date. The Nun, and then the Curse of La Llorona. That one apparently looked bad too.
That's apparently like one of the worst movies of last year.
Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 movies. $140 million budget
For all of those combined?
for all of them combined.
for them.
That is nothing.
Have they made a bill?
Oh, they've almost made 2. They're at 1.9 bill.
See?
Holy
You
shit,
can do it, man.
dude. That is one thing that is so. It's just like so holy, like like the horror genre.
Cheap
movies
movies
are
and
made
making
for
money.
cheap.
Dude, look at the best one is always Paranormal Activity 1. That's the most profitable film of all time, still.
Is it? It
Yeah.
beat out Blair.
Yeah.
Beat out Blair Witch.
Look it up. I think it's like 35 grand or something like that, and it made over 100 million. Horror movies are so
fucking
easy
nuts.
to make, like, especially because like you can.
Sorry, way more than what you said, and way less on the budget.
What's the budget?
$11,000 budget.
Okay.
$193 million.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But that's one thing that like is just such a staple of horror. It feels like it's like a ragtag group of filmmakers
It is.
that are just doing it all on the cheap and just making scary shit. And it's
Yeah.
also that's also one thing that it's the same way with like comedy where it's like the scariest movies do make the most money.
Yeah, they.
Not even if it's like the best movie, because like Blair Witch sucks. I don't think it's a good movie.
I wouldn't say it sucks.
I haven't watched it in a
like
while.
I liked it. Yeah.
I also don't like the found footage stuff. But
Yeah, I don't think it
the
sucks.
Paranormal Activity movies are like, in terms of like movies, it's like a 3. In terms of horror, it's like a 7. And so it
Yeah,
made a
because
bunch of money.
the story revolves so much around like what's the monster going to do next.
Yeah, and they retcon a bunch of stuff too when they do the prequels and everything. Don't they change it all?
No,
They don't.
no,
Oh,
they just flesh it out further. Like they don't retcon anything. They just like they add stuff
Did I
where
say
like,
red-
oh, I didn't know that was happening at the same time this was happening or something.
okay. Yeah.
Like there's that
Did I
scene
say
I told you about.
redcon?
Redcon.
I think I said redcon.
They redconned it where it's there's that's what
was
they
that?
do. Yeah, they do that. So that's what they did.
Yeah, redcon. Wolverines never die.
Dude, Wolverines.
Redcon.
Red Con.
Redcon.
Red Dawn's a good movie. So
The Ridge or the Josh Peck, Chris Hemsworth version?
The Ridge only. That one's terrible. Where Chris Hemsworth dies towards the end.
Yeah, that movie fucking blows.
They also delayed it because it was one of those. It got caught up in that MGM sale. It got delayed like 2 years after
Oh,
it was.
did it?
Yeah, it was finished like 2 or 3 years before it got released.
It got New Mutants.
Well, yeah, and it was supposed to be this vehicle. It was supposed to be the vehicle before he was a Vine star that was going to make Josh Peck like a star, but it got delayed so much that Hollywood just moved on. Never gave him another shot.
Well, I mean, he's one of those guys now that he's just like he's a little social media darling.
Yeah, because of Vine, he got huge on
Yeah.
Vine, and then now he's just
Well, he got big on Drake and Josh. I mean,
No.
weight wise, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course.
Then he got the skinny once he got famous.
Yeah, he did. And once Vine went away, he was one of the only Vine stars that really kept his following after that.
There's a couple of those guys like King Batch, like all those type
None
guys.
of them are really doing anything anymore. The one girl is mostly famous now because she's married to Tommy Lee.
Oh yeah. I don't know what her
Brittany
name is, but
something.
I don't
Brittany
know.
Ferlin.
Wow, that's a crazy pull that you just knew that girl's name.
Well, I just love Motley Crue, so I know Tommy
okay.
Lee's wife.
Yeah, Josh Peck still rocking 9.6 million on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean that's great. I mean, so I'm sure he's doing fine with all that stuff, and he's a very handsome man. So I'm sure he
got fucking Neville Longbottomed.
he did. Yeah, he glowed up real nice.
Yeah. Where like the roles that you're famous for, like you are like fat and an ugly schlub.
Yep.
And the second they finish, you just turn into like a fucking smoke show.
Yeah, and he's not the same way, but I was going to say Anthony Michael Hall's another one that kind of really blossomed nicely as he got older.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of those though. The glow ups don't ever work that well, and sometimes the ones who like are attractive when they're young don't stay that way, which is a bummer. But
That's I also just for the audience. That was Nick just letting everyone know that he's a pedophile. Because yeah, all those kid actors, they're attractive when they're young.
I'm not talking about kids,
and then they then they get uglier.
I meant the like teen stars that you love when you're a kid, and they grow up and you're like, oh
boy,
yeah.
Like what does the one guy from Boy Meets World look like now? What does Corey Matthews look like now?
He looks the same. Fred Savage.
Does he? He looks identical.
He looks the same. Yeah.
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage or Ben? No, he's Ben Savage. I'm sorry.
Savage.
Fred Savage is the Wonder Years.
Yeah,
and the mole guy from Goldmember. Ben
Savage. Wow, he looks the same.
Yeah, Topanga looks the same too.
Yes, she does. He legitimately just looks like.
He's just Corey still.
He's just Corey
because he was on Girl Meets World when they rebooted it for Disney Channel.
Did you watch that?
I watched a couple episodes because I loved Boy Meets World. I loved that show as a kid.
I did like it.
My sister and I, that was like one of the things we like really bonded on the most when we were kids because we were very different.
Yeah,
and we loved Boy Meets World. That was like we could sit there and watch that show on just repeat all the day, all of the days.
That's one of those shows where it's like I can't pull like scenes from that show and like remember them, but like Brandy was watching it for a while and I would like see scenes and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like 100%.
Yeah. The ones I remember the most are Eric, his brother, Will Friedle's character, always just going out and yelling Feeney. Like you just yell Mr. Feeney.
There's an episode where the dad fucking makes a roller coaster in their backyard.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's like a little mini thing. Yeah, I remember that. It's great. I forget how young they were when that show started. They were like little kids.
Crazy young.
Sean and Corey were both so young. And Topanga and what was the kid's what was that kid's name? It was like the Mingus?
Minkus, yeah.
Minkus.
I almost said Squints, but that's Sandlot.
That's Sandlot.
Or who's like
I want to say Mandork, but that's Dexter's Laboratory.
Who's the fat nerdy guy from Even Stevens? They all
Beans.
Beans.
Yeah.
They all have like a weird
Have
like
you seen
neighbor
that kid
friend.
since he grew up? Whoa.
Doesn't he look identical?
He's just Beans. Yeah. He looks rough.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
He looks like a weird, creepy old Beans. Like it's just not good.
I wonder what Minkus looks like now.
I don't know. He probably looks. I bet he's hot as shit.
Probably. So horror movies.
That's what I was just about to say. So the Conjuring universe is great. I think you have like a great start when you have somebody like James Wan at the helm to like get you off on a good start, and he keeps like an active hand in the movies.
Just a great director.
Yeah, and he's clearly got a pretty keen eye, like producing wise. Although they've gotten pretty rough as they go. Like what is it? The La Llorona,
The Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah, that one looks just like trash. The Nun was trash.
Yeah, he didn't direct that one though.
No, and but is he directing the new Conjuring film?
No, he's not. Michael Chavis is, and he's the guy who did The Curse of La Llorona.
Oh, bummer.
So it's probably going to be bad.
Yeah,
The
I don't see it being
Conjuring,
good.
The Devil Made Me Do It's a pretty terrible film title as far as film titles go.
Yeah, it is.
Anything with like a really like long, after the semicolon doesn't really do well.
Not usually.
Just like Birds of Prey and the what is it? The Something Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, which is now just called Harley Quinn: Birds of Prey,
which is dumb.
It's so
this Michael Chavis guy hasn't directed shit.
Birds of Prey is still this like enigma of a film. It should have made so much more money, and it really made good.
All the monies,
and it's so strange. Audience, I really think it was one. I'm not kidding. It feels a lot to me like a weird incel white dude like stand on like, no, we don't want like a femme film, dude. Because so many people like in that community, which are a ton of the money that those movies make, came out like against that movie, and so it just makes me think that was their
just because Harley Quinn wasn't hot enough.
Yeah, she wasn't nude enough.
Wasn't sexualized enough.
And they like it was all just girl characters.
Yeah,
like they were just like, what was it? Batman? What was Nightwing? Where's Robin?
That movie was so cool.
The movie's great. Yeah, and they just beat the shit out of dudes the whole time, which is like
awesome.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why do you need that?
When a Harley Quinn breaks into the precinct,
yeah, dude, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's visually stunning. It's hilarious too.
First, we're going to get back to horror films, but I'm just going to say first, Margot Robbie is beautiful and she's sexy as hell in that movie. Like she's like, it's like the right kind of sexy where like, you're like, oh damn, like she's just beating
fucking
the
badass.
fuck. Yeah. She's beating the fuck out of these dudes. It's like, that's like the kind that you should want for Harley Quinn. Like the movie is about her emancipating herself from the Joker.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, she can't exist without him. It's like, you clearly don't read the comics because she exists way better without him most of the time, I would say. She wasn't even born in the comics. She was born from the animated series.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she started on Batman the Animated Series.
Gotcha. Do I need to go back and give that thing a watch?
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's really
so
good, right?
It holds up 100%.
Yeah.
Bruce Timm that made that show found a way to make this like timeless.
I started
piece
watching
of work.
Batman Beyond a couple of years ago.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
well,
good.
I watched it when I was a kid too.
Batman Beyond, I was obsessed with as a kid.
Yeah.
Terry McGinnis.
The fucking bat suit is like super cool.
It's amazing.
And it's a bat suit that's not in any of the comics, right? They just like made that just for TV.
Well, yeah, because that storyline wasn't in the comics where Batman retires because he's too old and
He's
he's
a 60-year-old man. And
yeah, and he gets
some
Terry
hot little
McGinnis.
teen boy
who
takes over.
Yeah, the problem is though, like they didn't really. It could have easily been like Nightwing that took over. It could have been Dick Grayson, or it could have been any of the Robins.
Yeah,
it was a little weird, but Terry McGinnis as a character is amazing. And since then there's been really cool Batman Beyond comics that have come out, and makes it pretty cool,
pretty fun.
Yeah,
okay.
I think.
But back to horror movies.
Horror. Okay, so let's go to another thing, and I'm going to say The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
Based on the novel The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson.
Yes.
And
who created that show?
Mike. It's a green, like, isn't it Mike something? It starts with a G. His last name starts with a G.
It starts with a G.
I'm blanking.
Mike, it does not start with a G. It starts with the old Efferoony. We got an Irish kid.
What's his name?
Mike Flanagan.
Oh, Flanagan. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
That's what the G part came in. Flanagan.
And that's where the G part came in because there is a G.
Well, it's just Flanagan.
Flanagan.
Yeah, and he's done quite a bit of good horror stuff lately. He's also doing The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is coming out later in the year.
Yes.
And he's done a few movies, right, that were good.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Until you do.
So he did he did Dr. Sleep recently. He also did Gerald's Game,
which is great.
Ouija, Origin of Evil.
It's okay.
The original Oculus movie, Absentia, Hush.
Those old ones aren't great. But so wait, he did Gerald's Game and Dr. Sleep and then those two shows, right? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Recently?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
He was also he was an editor on $1 Million Listings Los Angeles in 2009.
Okay. Got to get your start somewhere, man.
Yeah, of course.
So Haunting of Hill House, I would say it's a great combination of like, I would say of that in that whole show, there's maybe 2 jump scares, 2 like full, like we're trying to jump scare you.
I think there's probably a couple like in that like in all the scenes where they're running out of the house. That whole episode's kind of a jump scare.
I don't think that's a jump scare. The jump scare is where it's like something that's not on the screen jumps into the screen like insane, like a smash cut to something.
Yeah.
Or it like comes literally out of nowhere. We're like, that's all just scary.
It's slow moving, like subtle.
Takes its time. Yeah, like subtle horror.
Fucks with your mind.
And it also gives you this like deeper level of horror if you pay attention, where there's a ghost in like every part of the house. Mm-hmm. If you pay attention, you can see
there's a ghost in every scene, right?
Supposedly, I've tried to look at like every
I haven't
scene.
found them.
There's quite a few where if you like, people have found them in videos, and you're like, whoa, I never would have thought that that's like where like it'll be like a reflection in a window or like.
So it's like the pineapple in Psych.
It's exactly what it is. Yeah. Well, it's not like there's ever like the ghost was a coaster on the table. And it's just a face looking up at you.
An episode of Halloween and a kid's dressed as a ghost.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, that's the ghost.
There's the ghost for the app.
And it's only when they're in the house too. Like when they're in their current time, there's no ghosts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
all back in the day, where they're little kids.
But it's so scary because it's like it has such great acting in it. and it's delivered so believably, and also it's such a fun sort of a world, because like I like when ghost stories like that, the world is a little bit more supernatural than just these people's house is haunted, because like the mom clearly has, like, she's like an empath. The daughter can like touch people and feel things. The mom, I forget, maybe she can like see things, you know what I mean, like she has like visions of like the past and the future and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, she's almost like she's like a weird, like,
she's
medium.
clairvoyant.
She's like a Holly Gibney in The Outsider, kind of.
Well, yeah, because Holly's also like
Weirdly,
she's similar.
She like feels. It's like is it ESP? She like feels like vibes.
Yeah, she has ESP. Yeah.
She like feels vibes like in the universe and like picks up on them.
Yeah. Whereas in Hill House, Carla Gugino's character is like,
Carla Gugino.
What?
She's
beautiful.
Just a cutie patootie.
Yeah. Great actress. Like her work on everything she does is great. Gerald's Game, especially, she's really great.
Yeah, we talked about that.
She doesn't even. I was going to say she steals the show, but she doesn't really have to.
She's the only character.
Yeah, pretty much. But so it's the same way. Where like, so the one and the other daughter, you know, when she touches people, she can like, she gets like feelings from them, or she wears gloves all the time, so she doesn't have to touch them.
It's almost like she's just like an open nerve, like to emotions. That's kind of how I
she's
saw it.
She's another like empath.
Yeah.
But I like that. So the world clearly has like, they can't be the only two. So it means that world has like other things going on.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that, like, because it's always a lot of horror movies. It's always like, what would happen if it's like a normal family and there's a ghost in their house, but it's just pertaining to them and they want to kill them. Like, it's like, but I like that world is like, there's more to it. Like, it's like a denser world building.
Yeah.
Which is,
there's
it makes
also
it more
like
interesting.
It's like straight up like embodied ghosts.
Yeah.
It's not like Paranormal Activity where it's like you never see the thing. I mean, you do later.
Not really, even then.
But yeah, it's not like people are just getting like dragged out of bed. It's like a physical being that's doing it.
Yeah, and you see it. There's like the bent neck lady. There's that creepy old man that just like hovers above the ground, like bumping into the walls.
Yeah, there's like the guy who's like 10 feet tall.
That's what I'm talking about. And he like hovers above the ground
with
his cane.
Also?
Yeah, and he's like just bumping into the walls. And he like, remember the one little boy is like hiding under his bed while that guy's like in his room. And
yeah.
There's all kinds of different things. There's the one where he goes, the same little boy goes down that dumbwaiter and is in the cellar. And there's like some creepy thing down there. There's the little girl's like missing the back of her head. So I just think The Haunting of Hill House does something that, like, it does this world building aspect that a lot of horror films don't take the time to do. Like the Paranormal Activity movies do, but they're, again, I get that they're like sort of like B level horror films. But like, so the world building is subtle in those movies, but they're good. And they use some of their side films, like the Paranormal Activity, the something ones, it's the what is it? It's like the cursed ones or something like that. Yeah, the cursed ones or something like that, or
it's like is it the fourth? It's like the fourth or fifth one?
The fourth or fifth, yeah.
It might be the fifth one where it's like that.
The marked ones.
The marked ones, that's what it is.
Yeah. Which is a good one. It's a cool side story that really fleshes out the world.
Yeah.
Because one of the characters from the second one, the daughter from the second movie, comes back and you find out that she's like she's now become like an investigator that's like trying to piece all this together, and like she's only in it for a little bit, but these characters, you end up finding out like there's like this much bigger, denser world to all of it. And so then when you go to the next one and you see everything that's going on, it's real crazy. It's really good. But the Hill House does such a good job with that. I love the world building of it. It's great.
Yeah, and then I mean, you had mentioned it earlier, like the acting is just so perfect.
I forget his name,
but the casting is great.
The guy that plays the dad when they're young, who was Elliot in E.T. He was the main kid in E.T.
Young.
You know what I'm talking about? He's the main kid in E.T.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's criminally underrated.
Then the second Dario Naharis.
Oh yeah, Michael
Huisman.
Huisman. Yeah.
He played. I mean, there's just so many good storylines in this show. The twins,
who were both newcomers at that point, Victoria Pedretti and Oliver Jackson Cohen.
Yeah,
they are now like
big,
hot, like up and coming stars. Like, she was the main girl in the second season of You, which is way better than the first season. I mean, the first season's great, but the second season's so good.
Yeah.
And he is now he's like the Invisible Man in the new Invisible Man movie, which I really want to see. It's supposed to be like fantastic. So,
and then we also have so Henry Thomas is the
Henry Thomas,
dad,
of course. I should
when
know
they're
that
young,
name.
and then the dad when they're old.
Timothy Hutton
is accused rapist.
Okay, well,
Timothy Hutton.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yes.
I mean, you might as well mention it.
No, I'm saying like I forgot that.
Oh, that just happened.
Yeah.
Forgot.
I was about to be like, he's great, and then I was like, oh yeah, he is very
He's
great
good
in the show.
He's
I
very
know,
good in the
but,
show.
yeah.
Well, he's also like, I like the dynamic of him like as an old man who is completely like separated and estranged from all of his kids. And like he just clearly has had like this continuing relationship like with the mom that like none of the kids have had.
She's still there.
Yeah.
I really wonder if it's really her too, because the way she is when she was alive, she seems like maybe the type that would be able to like latch her spirit onto somebody and just help
possibly
them. Because her spirit's still in the house too.
Yeah.
So and you know Oliver Jackson Cohen and Victoria Pedretti are both in The Haunting of Bly Manor too.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're the two main characters.
They are?
I do believe so.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
God, Oliver Jackson Cohen is just hi-yi-yi.
What an attractive man.
What a sexy little boy.
He's a big boy too. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's really big.
She's beautiful too. And she's a great actress. She's great in You. And I have heard very good things about him in The Invisible Man. I know he's playing like an awful person, but and apparently I don't want to spoil it, but you know, from what it sounds like, the way that they make him the Invisible Man in this movie is really, really cool. It's a modern update of what the Invisible Man is.
That's fun.
Because those Dark Universe movies are finally dead.
Yeah.
Remember when they tweeted that picture out of all of them, and it was like Javier Bardem was Frankenstein, and Angelina Jolie wasn't in the picture, but she was going to be Bride of Frankenstein. Johnny Depp was the Invisible Man. Henry, or what's his name from Gladiator? Not Henry. The main guy from Gladiator.
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe. Yes,
Jesus.
thank you. No,
Henry?
I don't
Who's
know.
Henry?
Russell Crowe was Dr. Jekyll. Tom Cruise was the Mummy.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody else, I think, too.
I mean, he was
maybe.
Dr. Jekyll in The Mummy.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
No. But I'm saying
Are
like
all those people in the movie?
no, and also none of those people were together. In that picture, they look like they're together, but none of them were in the same room at the same time.
Oh, it's just all
and then
Photoshopped?
Sophia
Vergara?
No, she's the girl who has the like knives for legs in Kingsman, and she's the mummy
Knives. Oh.
in the Mummy. Sophia. God, I can't remember her last name.
Is it the same girl who is the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
No, that's you're thinking of Hannah John Common.
Yes, I am. The fucking Mummy, dude.
I honestly haven't seen her in anything since, and I really hope the Mummy didn't like kill her career.
It might have. That movie is fucking awful.
Unfortunately, movies like that do kill careers, and it really would suck if that's usually people will rebound.
Sophia
Boutella, yeah, thank you. But people like that who are on like Star Trek and then get derailed, and then that's how they become character actors or even just background actors. But so moving on from Hill House,
what do we want to do next? Do we want to do?
it's up to you. I mean, it's
Oh,
yours.
it is me.
Yeah.
Let's go like fucking murder. Like move away from paranormal.
Okay.
And go into like fucking like human beings that are terrifying.
What movie or show? What are you talking
Strangers.
about? Oh, The Strangers.
The Strangers. That is, I mean, for my money. Oh fuck! The Conjuring is so scary.
No, I think The Strangers is scarier
Because it could actually happen.
Because it could actually happen. Like that exact movie could easily happen.
It also takes place in Missouri.
The first
or
one?
it takes place like in the Ozarks.
First one?
I think so.
Oh. I thought that was the second one.
I believe so. I think the first one's supposed to take place like in Missouri, but it's like like the area where they're at. Like an area like that.
Everybody does, yeah.
Cabin in the woods, like by like a river.
It's like on a road where there's houses like close enough that you don't feel uncomfortable, but in a situation like that,
but it's
not
like
close enough.
3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, I've got neighbors, but in a situation, so you're like, I don't feel like I'm out by myself. But then when something like that is happening, they're too far away for you to get to them to help you. Yeah.
But that movie, I mean, just the level of like you never see the killer's face. That always fucks with me.
Yep. You only see one of their faces throughout any of the two movies.
Yeah, and it's at the end.
Yeah, because she dies.
It's at the end of the second one.
Yeah, she dies. And you kind of see his face because he gets burned so bad, but But then it alludes to the fact that he's still alive in the second one.
Fucking Christ.
They're both really good movies too.
Yeah.
There's a really good scene in the second one that I really like where the dad in that one crashes his van and he's like dying. And the guy just blasts this like 80s song and just sits down in the van next to him and just watches him die.
Yeah.
It's
Doesn't he ice pick him at the end? I think the bad guy throws it, like he stabs him one more time, I think.
No, he just watches him die.
You sure?
Because he's already been stabbed. He's been shot, I think, and then he's been stabbed through the abdomen, like really bad.
With it's like a telephone pole. It's
Something
like
like that.
fucking
Something big.
Yeah.
He's like,
or like a 2x4.
He's like dying at that point. It's not even like he's got any chance left.
I remember the bad guy holding an ice pick though.
He does try to hit the son with an ice pick.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the first one is scarier.
Those movies, just like the methodical, there's nothing you can do about it. Like we're not even gonna run at you. We're just gonna stand.
Yeah.
And like we just know the area and there's more of us.
Well, and their whole reason, they go, "Why are you doing this?" In the first one, she's like, "'Cause you're home."
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, if anybody ever came to our door and asked, "Is Tamara home?" I'm just throwing hands immediately.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Or
just right away.
Locking the door, like bolting windows.
Yeah.
Like I'm immediately getting like 2 knives.
I'm just grabbing like all of these just kettlebells, swinging them.
You're gonna try to P Diddy a football coach? Just hit somebody with a kettlebell.
100%. I'm not.
Dude,
I would
could you
do
imagine how much it would hurt if somebody who was like strong enough picked up like a 20-pound kettlebell and just hit you with it?
I can imagine
anywhere.
Yes, I can imagine how bad it would hurt.
Ooh-wee.
I've dropped one on my foot before. It hurt really bad. From like while I was holding it just up high, as I dropped it, slipped out of my hand. I was sweating really bad.
Oh, did you lose a toenail?
No, it literally it really hurt really bad. It landed like right behind my toes. Oh, like so, like on the center of my foot.
A lot of small bones in there.
I legitimately think it might have like fractured a bone in my foot.
did.
But I never went to the doctor. I just hurt really bad for a long time. It like took like a couple weeks to heal.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I had this fat, like nasty, just like purple bruise all over the entire top of my right foot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever lost a toenail?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've also broken a few toes.
Oh, you have? Mm-hmm. I broke a pinky.
Yeah.
And I don't really know which one it is anymore.
Yeah. I broke one of my fingers.
One of them's just fucked.
Yeah.
I've just broken my nose so many times. But I fucking lost a toenail. I was in my old garage.
Painful.
Like in my childhood. What was that?
Said it's painful.
Oh, yeah. But I had like a full shelf that had like a bunch of shit on it. And I put something on it. The whole shelf came down and the fucking shelf landed on my toe with all this shit on it. Oh. Like 100-pound shelf. I was barefoot. I lost like my right toenail, and it's never
your right toenail.
Yeah,
you have 10 toes. You can't have a left and a right toenail.
Like, sorry, right big toenail. Oh, yes. I forgot to say right big toe. I forgot to say big toe. My right toenail. I lost.
I only have 2 toenails. I have my left and my right nail.
You don't have 2 toes?
What?
I just have 2 little tootsies.
I have 2 toes on one foot and 8 on the other.
Oh, boy.
I do have 10 toes.
Oh,
but,
boy. But yeah, it like fucking peeled off. And then it grew back as like a double layered toenail.
So it's like real thick?
Yeah, I have one real thick toenail.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's probably hot for the pod.
Oh, yeah. So wait, what were we talking? So Strangers. Dude, the scene in the first one.
Oh, when the friend comes?
Yeah, and they kill him.
Oh, God damn it.
Because you're like, yes, he's going to help. But then when you see that he's like walking through slowly and you know what's happening, you're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And then who shoots him? Does Liv Tyler shoot him?
Or the guy, either one of them. No, I think the guy does.
Scott Speedman?
Scott Speedman. Yeah.
But that movie, I mean, goddamn, for my money, I saw that like in like 7th or 8th grade in theaters. It was probably around 8th grade, right?
Yeah, I think it might have been. I think I was a sophomore in high school.
8?
Yeah, so I would have been. Yeah, you would have been in high school too.
Yeah, whenever it was. But I saw like with a bunch of girls.
Same.
And we were like in the 3rd row back from the screen, so I was just looking up at it.
Oh yeah,
loud as all fuck, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, dude. I know. Oh, dude.
Like screaming.
I would literally. I remember I was like with this girl that I was like really into, and we were kind of starting to date at that point.
Yeah.
And I was holding her hand at the theater, but I was also sitting next to my buddy, and he was like this big beefy dude, and he and I just held hands the entire time too.
It's fun.
All of us were just holding it. We were like, holy fuck. Yeah, it's so
We all
scary.
have to be together.
We saw a double feature that day, I remember, of The Strangers and The Hangover.
Oh, we talked about
with
this
The
before.
Hangover.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it on the pod.
Oh, no.
We started with The Hangover,
Hangover?
and then we ended with just one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
Dude, that movie is fucking so scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And the second one's really scary too. It's a lot more stylized. The second one is.
Yeah. Well, especially like the whole scene in the pool.
Oh, that's great. That's a fucking beautifully shot scene.
Yeah, there's
lit
like
wonderfully.
There's like neon-y lights. There's like overhead, like Christmassy, like string lights.
Yep.
Everywhere, and then the pool's like lit up like a bright blue.
Yep, I love it.
And there's the whole scene where he tries to kill the guy, or like the kid's trying to run away, and he stabs him in the back underwater.
Oh, that's a great scene too. Yeah, and then there's all those scenes where they're like running through the trailer park that they're in, like the vacation trailer park, and oh, dude, those scenes where the truck where he's like following them.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
There's also the scene where the daughter's hiding like in that tunnel, and the truck drives by and it drives away, and you're like, oh thank God. And then the fucking is it baby doll face or whatever?
That's the girl. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's just in the background.
She's in the back. She's like, boo.
Yep. Oh, I hate it. Yeah, dude.
God damn.
Oh my God, those movies are terrifying.
Those movies are fucking. Those might be the scariest.
I think so.
Yeah.
I was gonna eat. So
I mean, the Conjurings are pretty good. I fucking hate anything paranormal too.
We'll move from what used to be my scariest movie of all time for when I was a kid, The Sixth Sense.
Oh, okay.
My dad's calling me.
Did you take that?
No, it's fine. I'll call him back.
No, they're no longer dating.
They broke up?
Yeah, they broke up a while ago.
What was his name?
Bob.
It was Bob? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's dating this British guy named Chris now.
Is she? Mm-hmm. Lori.
I know. Crazy.
She's a hot commodity.
Oh. Ew.
Why?
It's my mother.
Well, she went from dating one guy to immediately dating another guy?
That's true. She's a dating machine.
Yeah. She's super cool.
Yeah, she pops around.
She pops around.
Well, like she's like never like single. That's what I mean. She's like never single for long.
So I say she's a hot commodity, and that means I'm gross. Yeah. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Okay.
All right, back to horror. I'm gonna have to edit this out.
You are. Oh, so what I was gonna say was before Alex had to pee and I had to talk to my parents.
Yep.
The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Do you remember it?
He's a ghost the whole time.
Well, you know what I think we could do? He's a ghost the whole time. I think we could also lump a few of his together, which would
Sixth
be
Sense,
and
Signs.
Signs. Those are the two that I would put together.
And I mean, just The Village and The Happening are their own things.
Oh, yes. And The Last Airbender is a horror show of its own, but
Yes.
for a very different reason.
Same with The Last Earth.
Oh, yeah. Is that? It's not called The Last
After
Earth.
Earth.
After Earth.
After
Yeah. But The Sixth Sense, especially when I saw it when I was a kid. I saw it around the same time that I saw Seven. I was like 9 or 10. I was like way too young to be watching a movie like that, and it like fucked me up.
For real?
That movie?
Is it really that scary?
Yes, it's disturbing.
I don't remember.
It's like a little boy who is seeing like dead people the way they looked when they died. Like he's friends with a kid who's missing the entire back of his head because he shot himself.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, he's just got this bloody, just disgusting brains hanging out the back of his head, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that movie just like when I was a kid.
And
I don't think I've seen it since.
It's also very like I love it's good in the same way that a lot of other like movies are good, where they're very atmospheric. Like there's a whole atmosphere to that film. It's the same as like Super Dark Times is that way.
Oh, okay.
They have a whole atmosphere to the film. The Outsider is really good like that. Where you know what you're watching when you turn that on. Gone Girl is that way. A lot of Fincher movies are that way. And The Sixth Sense made it seem like M. Night was going that direction. And then Signs was good.
Yeah.
And then he did every other movie he did.
And then he hasn't made a good one since.
Split.
Oh, Split. Yeah.
Split was good.
But
And
still,
Glass was poop.
still, that's a 15-year gap between good movies.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where he was like the hot upcoming director.
Yeah.
And he
just shit all over that.
He did. But The Sixth Sense was so scary because when you were that age, you were the same age as Haley Joel. I think he's our age. Or like maybe a little younger or older. Within like a year or two.
He's a little bit older.
Is he? I don't know if he... I think he's
like
my age.
I think he's like 28.
I'm about to turn 28 in a month.
I said a little bit older.
Barely. He's... Or maybe like a year older, whatever. But like you feel like you're in his shoes. You know, he gets like, you know, when he's getting bullied at that birthday party and he gets locked in that room and he's just banging on the door and you know that means there's some dead person in there trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's like communicating with these dead people. It's fucked up, dude.
Haley Joel's 31.
Okay, he's a couple years older.
Yeah. But I mean, the guy's been doing the damn thing for a minute.
Yeah.
That was 21 years ago, so he was 10 during that movie.
It's
goddamn
fucked up.
Yeah, we saw that probably 99, so I would have been 6. So I probably saw it in like 2001.
Yeah.
I probably saw it like September 12th. That was my...
Why? You think specifically September 12th, 2001?
Yeah, because we were home for the day.
Oh, I bet you were. We had school the next day.
You think?
Yeah.
I thought school was canceled.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was canceled like
a lot of
everywhere.
people took their kids out of school that day.
I got taken out of school that day.
I didn't.
And I watched the aftermath.
We all left early. Like school left like we left like an hour or two early. Everybody did.
Okay.
We got out early. But I remember because my dad was in Branson at the time playing golf, and there's like a big nuclear reactor down there, and they like made everybody get off the golf course, and like they're like, you got to go. He was like down there for this big convention, and they were like, the convention's over. Like, you guys got to go home unless you live in Branson. And then whoops.
Like, you guys got to go home, get on a flight. Oh shit.
Can you imagine though? Like whoever. It's funny though because they were all freaking out so much, but the terrorists weren't going to Branson.
No. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
The arch got shut down because like, what if they hit the arch? It's like, why would they hit the arch?
It'd be so funny if they try to hit the arch
and they just move through it.
Just exhale. They don't think.
Well, if you did, you'd immediately hit a massive skyscraper.
Well,
you'd do more damage if you did miss it.
You hit the old courthouse.
Well, I just remember thinking that even then at that age, I was like, if you hit the arch, what have you really done? You've just knocked down a big piece of silver.
Yeah.
And at the time,
it's a pretty solid piece of silver though.
At the time you'd like hit a highway, but you're not hitting like a massive population center if you hit the arch.
No, nobody's attacking Missouri.
Although
also Missouri is probably the least likely place to get hit by anything because it's in the middle of the country.
It's hard to get there. Yeah.
Coastal city,
tornado, you're real likely.
Tornado. Yeah. Coastal cities are pretty much fucked. That's why New York is fucked, and
that's why we should never move to LA.
I know.
Yeah.
What fucking idiots.
Because Kim, he's just trying to get us.
We have talked about that. We have talked about that multiple times.
What?
If like terrorist attacks like happened here,
yeah,
like we would just be fucked. Like if somebody,
like if it was like a nuclear attack,
if it was like a nuke.
Well, no, dude, we're in the best spot to be in LA
to get out of the city.
Well, no, that too, but also like we're so far from anything important. Like they're never going to hit Chino Hills.
No,
the terrorists aren't coming for Chino.
Hit downtown. It's close enough.
Downtown, or they'll hit like
we're close enough to downtown. We're 30 miles from downtown.
Yeah, that's people 30 miles from the World Trade Center weren't injured.
What? Well, yeah, if it's another plane attack.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But if it's like a chemical thing or something, yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah, we're super fucked.
Yeah, because the winds are going to blow inward. Off the ocean.
We're fucking dead immediately.
We would die quicker than people that were like immediately there. Because it just blows so hard at us. Which is fine. I'm fine with that.
70-mile-an-hour winds just my fate right to our house.
And it's funny, too. I remember when we moved out here, people were like, aren't you glad to get out of like Tornado Alley and stuff? And I was like, you sacrifice tornadoes. Like the likelihood of your house being hit by a tornado in Missouri is the same level of likelihood of you getting injured here in an earthquake.
Oh yeah.
I would say
it's not going to happen. I mean, it will, but
neither of them are likely to happen to just you specifically. Like your odds are not high.
Yeah,
but they're both about the same level.
Yeah,
We've not had an earthquake since we've been here. Not the one that we felt.
We haven't felt it yet.
Yeah.
But there have been ones like close, like threes, like really small ones.
It's nothing we've felt yet, but it's the same way. Like I've seen tornadoes, but I've never had one that hit my house.
Yeah. Brandon and I saw a tornado when we were driving back from Arizona the other day.
Really? Like a distant one?
Was it not a tornado? Sorry,
You saw an earthquake?
No, I set that up like I saw an actual tornado. No, a dust tornado.
Oh, just a little one, like a nothing big.
No, it was fucking whipping.
Was it? Well, yeah, but
we're
I mean,
like in the like in those like desert valleys, like where the Santa Ana winds are just fucking ripping and cooking. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was like just fucking swirling. It was like probably 100 feet in the air. Like it was a big one.
but it's not like a real. Like,
No,
you've never seen a real tornado? I've seen a few.
No, I never have.
I remember we could see the one that hit Kirkwood from where we were in West County in Winchester. You could see it.
When?
The one that hit Kirkwood in like 2007 or 8, whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I ever saw that.
Then we also, the most crazy one I've seen is we saw a massive one when I was driving back from space camp in like after 5th grade. My dad was driving me and my friend home from Alabama, and we were in probably maybe Kentucky or we were in Alabama or something like that, and there was like one probably about a mile like directly to our right that was moving the same way we were. We were on the highway.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We were just like driving, and it was probably like like an F3 or F4. It was a big one,
not an F5.
No, I can guarantee you it wasn't
Finger
that.
of God.
Yeah, what?
Finger of God.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but yeah, I'm surprised you've never seen one just from where we lived.
Yeah,
It's not Oklahoma, I know, but there's a shit ton of them where we are.
Well, my house specifically that I grew up in.
Oh, you weren't in a big spot for that.
No, well, I was also like I was up on a hill, but it was like surrounded by trees. Like you couldn't see out. Like you couldn't see out really anywhere.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, like it was just like I could see. I like couldn't see like anything.
Oh.
You could see like what was over your head. That's all you could see.
Well, that's kind of how mine was too, but you could see like the cloud that moved over us to get to Kirkwood. It was already spinning. It just hadn't fully dropped yet.
Oh, gotcha.
So we could see how big that tornado
like
was.
The start of the funnel.
Yeah, it started like before it even got to my house, and then by the time it was over us, it was starting to drop. Because that's why we like rushed into the basement, and like it was. I remember those green nights and everything.
You saw the first signs of a tornado. So, Nick, let's talk about signs.
Sure. Yes. Swing away, Meryl, is what I would tell you.
Swing away, Meryl.
That's what they tell Joaquin Phoenix.
That one's goofy as shit.
It's a really wonky movie.
Yeah. There's so many goofy parts, like whenever they have the fucking tinfoil hats. Don't they wear tinfoil hats? Or am I thinking of Scary Movie 3?
No, that's in Signs.
Okay, yeah.
It's the daughter and Joaquin Phoenix are wearing tinfoil hats.
I always confuse like what actually happens in that movie with what happens in Scary Movie.
I can guarantee you none of them piss out of their finger.
Okay, yeah, that's probably true. But like the scene happens with a knife under the door and they see the aliens.
That happens, yeah.
The alien walking through like a neighborhood.
Well, like walking by like a door, like an
alley.
Yeah, like an alleyway. Yeah. That happens, and then also
I don't think that movie's scary at all.
Signs?
No, I don't think it is.
Signs was definitely scary. You are definitely misremembering.
Am I?
As somebody who's a spooked little boy, you would definitely be scared.
Have you seen it recently?
Yeah, like probably a couple years ago, 2 or 3.
Huh.
Recently enough to remember for sure that it was still scary.
Okay.
Because it's a lot more of like, because like crop circles and everything, that shit kind of is spooky.
Oh, that shit doesn't scare me at all.
Oh, dude, the way it works
Aliens
in the movie,
don't
does.
scare me at all.
Oh, they can get here. We definitely can't get there. That's immediately scary to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's just
gum on the couch.
Yeah, I didn't know
with you?
I didn't know where to put it.
You just took gum and you just have it wadded up and set on the couch.
This is my couch.
Were you gonna put it? Yeah. Were you gonna put it back in your mouth?
No.
Oh, why you have it there then?
What?
It's been there though since after you've pissed both times.
We're recording the potty waddy.
You listen to me.
No, there was one over there, and then when we took a break, I put another piece of gum in, and then we started again, and I took it out.
Oh, so this is a second piece.
Yes.
You throw the first one away?
Yeah, first one threw away.
Did you throw it away? Did you throw it?
No, I put it back up in my butthole where it belongs.
You know,
the end of the day is fucking hilarious because I'm just like a little deer. I'm just shooting pellets out my butt.
Or are you just blowing bubbles out your ass? I mean, I think that's wonderful for you.
I just put unchewed Hubba Bubba up my butthole, and then whenever I fart, I just blow bubbles.
I always think it's so funny. I was talking about this with one of the girls in my grad school. Big League Chew was 100% mocking chewing tobacco.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just, and especially because on the front cover is a baseball player with it stuck in his bottom lip and like a big bulge of Big League Chew.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, it's also it's cut like it's like Red Man. Like it's cut like
it's like Chaw.
Yeah,
it's like old school. Yeah, strips.
Have you ever done like old school like chewing tobacco?
I've tried it. It's terrible.
Ooh, it's rough.
It's real. I don't understand the like of the flavor either. It's not good.
Oh, it tastes like shit.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I understand dip.
Yes,
Dip tastes pretty good.
I get it. Like I don't like it, but I get it.
Like you can find like good flavors. Like
I understand cigarettes too.
Oh, cigarettes are so tasty.
They're great. Yeah.
I fucking
Get out there and smoke, kids.
dude. Occasionally, I just crave a cigarette.
What was your go-to?
Just go to cigarettes
Back in the day.
Depends on what time of my life. I've had like 4 different types.
Yeah, I guess I have.
So back in high school, when I first started, I was smoking black clove cigarettes because I was a real cute hipster bitch.
Yeah, everybody was though. That's like the gateway cig.
Yeah.
Cloves.
So I was smoking those, and then they moved to like only 12 in a pack, and they were more like cigarillos.
Yeah, they were longer.
Then I got off those, and I was
They're
smoking
expensive.
Camel Turkish Royals.
I smoked the fuck out of Turkish Royals.
Yeah.
That was probably my biggest one.
So I was flipping between those and Turkish Silvers in high school. Like when I was like, I'd drop off Meg at school, and then I would whip it around, go out of the school parking lot, rip a heater, and then come back into school.
Oh God, dude!
So I would drop Meg off, and then smoke. So I had a cigarette every day before class.
You're just the stupidest boy.
Yeah.
Because did they smoke?
Who?
Meg,
no.
no.
But they noticed that I would leave.
I'm sure
Every
that's what I'm
morning.
saying. They probably thought you were so dumb.
Yeah, so I'd drop them off, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go find parking," and then I'd just pull out.
Where'd you park? Because there's only the 2 big lots, right?
At Lafayette?
Yeah. Is there one behind the school too?
No,
There's just
like
the two you can see from 109, right?
Yeah,
It's like one big lot, really.
I mean, it's half the school. Like it's like a big L around the school.
Yeah. Like because
Actually, it's a big
half of it's on Clayton and the other half's on 109, right?
Yeah, there's also it's a big U, but that other lot
This
is
really
like
getting in the weeds from the listeners.
yeah,
Sorry,
but
continue.
it was like the faculty lot and like where the band practiced. They would practice there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I would fucking rip heaters. So that's when I was smoking Turkish Royals or Silvers. Then I got to Mizzou, and I was just had to burn like real cheap ones.
Edgefields?
No, I couldn't bring myself to do like Edgefields or Decades.
Yeah.
But I was smoking L&M menthols.
Oh, those are rough.
Yeah. Like $2 a pack in Missouri.
What's the really fancy ones that everybody liked?
Parleys? Parliaments?
Parliaments, yeah.
Parliaments or
I did those a little
Newports?
bit. Newports I did too.
Yeah.
But my biggest ones were probably Turkish Royals, Camel Frosts for a while.
Oh, fuck
Before
those.
they had crushes. Because they had that little mint ball in them.
the
Not that you could
crushes-
smash. It was in the frost. It was like this little blue minty ball.
Oh, okay.
It was just like in the filter.
So it wasn't a menthol. It was a regular cigarette that got like a little mint juice
It
at
had
the
like a
end.
mint bead in it.
Okay.
And you could chew on it afterwards.
Ew.
Oh yeah, we thought it was super cool to do back then. It was
Oh,
so
God.
gross. Yeah,
That sounds
it's terrible for
terrible.
you. You're just chewing carcinogens. It's terrible for you.
God damn.
And then I had a brief time with some Cowboy Killers. I'd really gotten
with
some
some
Marble
Reds?
Reds. Yeah,
Fuck. Those are rough. That's one of the worst days of my life.
I would buy those in cartons.
I
Sometimes.
oh boy, I got in trouble because I told my mom I was staying over at my buddy's house, and then she saw me like walking like in my neighborhood at like 7 a.m. around like another girl's house.
Yeah,
This girl's parents were gone, so we just were like drinking and smoking cigarettes all night.
yeah.
I smoked a whole pack of Marlboro Reds in like 12 hours, and I felt like shit.
I can't. I never was into like the chain smoking like that as much. I would do it
Yeah.
occasionally, but I would never do like a full pack in a night.
I did them
20
like
cigarettes in one night.
yeah, it was bad. Whenever I was like drinking, I could do that. I could just burn them.
When I was playing shows with my band, we would smoke quite a bit because it's just part of that
Yeah.
sort of thing. But I would always focus too much on one or the other. So I'd always end up starting to drink, and then I would like smoke occasionally, but I would just be like, oh, I got to keep drinking.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I would just get really focused on one or the other. It was never smoking because I didn't find it hard to quit. Like I didn't
Quit
find it
smoking?
not hard to not to quit smoking, but like hard to like stop smoking at that like in the night and just keep drinking.
Oh, I couldn't do
Well,
that.
I found it hard to quit smoking when I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still under the trap. Like this gum we're talking, that's nicotine
Yeah, I
gum.
know, yeah. I assumed.
Dude, my go-to cigarette though, still, if I ever like buy a pack,
Which you occasionally do.
well, since we've been out here, we did it.
When we first got here, we
did it
a
like
lot.
the first month.
Yeah.
And then I've done it like once since then. It was like we were at the store that one night.
And it was a big mistake.
Yeah. But those are Marlboro 27s. That's a fucking good cigarette.
It was good.
That's
yeah.
a great one.
I wish that if like I do like if they weren't bad for you,
Oh, dude, if they weren't bad for you, I would love to smoke cigarettes all the time.
Just turn and burn cigarettes all the time.
Dude,
but they're
cigarettes
terrible
are the
for you.
fucking best.
And they're just also like,
smelling like cigarettes all the time really
rough.
sucks.
Especially
it really
nowadays
sucks.
because it's such a gross thing to do.
A lot of people smoke here, though.
They do, and I've noticed too that a lot of the like international kids at Chapman smoke like fucking chimneys.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Chinese people love cigarettes.
Yeah, a lot of them are from China, and then a lot of European kids smoke too, especially from like mainland Europe.
Yeah,
not Brits, but like French. We have a lot of French kids, and a lot of them smoke.
a lot of Eastern blockers do too.
Yeah. I wonder why. Like you would think Europe's always so hoity-toity about how healthy they are. You would think cigarettes would be something they would be real over.
Yeah,
I feel like England has kind of already done that, but
I feel like England doesn't smoke. When I was in France, though, we had like our little French guide, but everybody was just burning.
yeah.
Randy and I, we were driving down to Arizona. We stopped off at that like outlet mall, like on the way, and at the outlet mall, it was like, I'm not even kidding. Every store had a like trash can out front with an ashtray.
Yeah.
At every trash can, there was a person
Smoking?
Yeah.
Wow.
And every single time, it was either a Chinese person or like a dude who looked like he was like an Eastern European guy.
Damn.
It was all guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like Chinese dudes and like Eastern Europeans. And they were just ripping butts.
I wonder why it's such a big deal still. Like they have to know.
I mean, they're fucking great. Cigarettes are terrific.
No, they are. And I know that also the big thing that they have differently is you can still advertise cigarettes in a lot of those places. You can't here. So that's probably a big part
Have
of
you
it.
ever seen like cigarette packs from Canada or like Australia? They're real aggressive.
What do you mean?
Those are the ones that have like pictures. Oh, and same with England. They're the ones that have like pictures of lungs, and it's like, this is going to kill you.
Oh yeah,
It literally says that like on
I've seen
there.
that stuff. I didn't know specifically where it was from, but I've seen those packs before.
Yeah, it's like Canada, Australia, England. They're pretty bad. Where England will show like, it'll like show just like black lungs and like people like it'll just be like a skull and bones, and it's like you're gonna fucking die if you smoke.
I mean,
these.
that's pretty much what Lucky Strike's like advertising is, anyways. But the
Lucky Strikes are no filters, right?
yeah, and they were the ones that like guaranteed to kill you, basically.
The filter doesn't help at all. It couldn't possibly.
It feels like it. I also feel like it feels like it helps because it's like it's that thing of like putting a little something between you and like what's really bad about cigarettes.
That, but I think it gives you like a homogenous thing like to suck through.
Yeah,
Like because like if you've ever like rolled your own cigarettes, it's just like you occasionally get like tobacco in your mouth.
occasionally, every time.
But you're also just it's like you're smoking a fucking like a non-tasty joint.
Yeah,
It's rough.
I don't also okay. Let's
joints
just,
aren't tasty
I was gonna
either.
say, it cracks me the fuck up when people open a bag of weed and they're like, and they smell it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're lying,
Dude,
You're trained to think that's the thing to do. It does not smell good.
No.
It smells like weed.
Dude, weed smells bad. We were at
and it tastes bad too.
we were at the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
and we were waiting in line for Kill Tony, and there was literally a dude, 3 people in front of us, that smoked 2 joints in the line in an hour.
Oh my
He was just
God.
smoking full joints,
Was he so?
just burning them into the crowd.
But then again, like people out here, their tolerance is so high.
yeah, because they're smoking like hardcore weed.
I was
all the
listening
time.
I was listening to a really good podcast. You should check it out. It's Kevin Smith with Grant Morrison. It's like 4 hours. It's amazing, and they get
Okay.
into some great shit. Grant Morrison's
comics.
Yes,
Grant Morrison.
and you guys should all listen to it. Grant Morrison, I always forget, like when you listen to him talk, he's the most like inspirational, like motivating dude to listen to. Like he makes you just want to create and like output interesting shit. It's real strong water, real strong coffee.
Yeah, wrong pipe.
Yep.
I'm drinking coffee at fucking 7 p.m.
But in that podcast, you can hear Kevin Smith lighting up blunts. I feel like he smokes like 6 of them.
Oh my God.
It is 2 podcasts, but either way, it's like an hour and a half and then an hour and a half and then like a little bit extra. But he's smoking like 3 of them at a time.
Oh my God.
Dude, I would be asleep. Like I would not be.
Dude, I would be asleep after like 4 puffs of one. I'd be dead.
No. Well, I also have a way higher tolerance than you.
I have no. I have no.
Because I smoke. I smoke like every day. But
yeah.
No, not every day, but a lot of the time. I smoke probably 3 or 4 days out of the week at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I would
smoke
say.
like about the same amount that I drink.
Yeah, I smoke a lot more, especially because I never did. Like I used to when I was younger, and then I stopped for a long time, and then I started back up. And now that we're here, I just
You hit that vape like a fucking monster.
now I do. Yeah, I really do.
Nick and I will literally be playing video games, and he'll just have like the vaporizer in his mouth for like an hour. And by the end, I'm like getting close to beating him in NHL, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm so fucking high."
Yeah, I always hate to use that as a qualifier, but
I take like 20 rips.
yeah.
I do one, and I'm fucking good for like
Because
hours.
those Steezies, those things hit like a fucking brick. Like
Yeah,
they hit you hard.
They hit hard.
You haven't tried the sativa one that I have of that one, and it is it's a fucking.
I can't smoke a sativa.
It whacks you up, dude.
All
Because I got real in my head, and I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
I'm just a ball of anxiety, and my OCD goes nuts.
Those
Can't
hybrid
do
ones
it.
that they have for that though for Steezies are great.
Oh yeah.
It's real good, yeah.
Oh cool.
And it's also not the bad kind of vape, so it's not like it's unhealthy for me.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. It's just wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you buy them?
Oh,
The Village. Back to M. Night Shyamalan.
yeah.
So
The Village doesn't work at all. It's happening. Let's talk about M. Night Shyamalan. Actually, let's move on from that. I remember thinking like The Sixth Sense was so scary, but I just don't have anything more to say about it.
so let's go to a show that kind of is everything that we've talked about all wrapped into one. That's The Outsider. We've talked about paranormal. We've
Jump
talked
scares? Not really, but
not jump scares, but we've talked about like paranormal. We've talked about like murdery, like psychological thriller. The Outsider is kind of a culmination of all that. It's not really. It's not super scary. It's just more weird.
it always, you know what it feels like? There's always like these moments in the episodes where it feels like it's about to get really scary, and it never really does.
Yeah, it like comes up to that line and never crosses it. Where it's like
unsettling.
a scary show.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric. Like there is an atmosphere to that show. Like everything about it, the like sound design, art, like set design, all the production design, all like the like. All
color grading,
color design, color grading is insane. Like it's that like blue green, like
still,
David Fincher,
but
like
still bland, lack of colory.
yeah, that's what it's that Fincher sort of look.
Yeah,
it's the same way. If you watch a Fincher film, you know you're watching it. Like Gone Girl is the same as watching Social Network. Yeah. Like cinematography and
but there's still like some like saturation to it. Like there's still like color and life.
Well, it's like
the shots.
It's like these earth tones that pop somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these real like muted tones that still pop.
Well, it's like the movie's earth tones, but the people's like skin tone pops.
Yeah, and then they also I think they do a lot of masking with stuff because like Cynthia Erivo, her dreads in the show really pop more than that color should, and it makes me think that they do like some very light masking work to really pick out what their color color guide is going to be.
Yeah,
and like
I mean, a show of that caliber, they're definitely
of course,
doing
Fincher does the same thing.
Yeah,
he always made like if you watch like The Social Network, everybody else will have these sort of muted things, and then like Mark Zuckerberg's character will wear like a royal blue shirt that just really fucking pops, and it shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah,
and so but that's just impressive color work. That's people knowing what they're really doing. Like it's gaffers, cinematographers, and editors really working together well, and production design. But The Outsider it's got one more episode.
Yeah, so we just finished episode 9
last
of the
night.
10-episode series.
Yeah, and
Let's not spoil too much because we're
no.
It's
People
still
want to be able to catch up, probably.
literally if you search The Outsider, just like the fucking promo shot, like for it,
Which one?
this one,
Oh yeah,
it's the one of like I don't even know how to. It's like a reflection in a pool. It's very True Detective-y in that way.
yeah. That picture is the
Yeah.
show's not really True Detective-y.
No, it's not. But
You know what I do like about
it's
the
just
show?
dark and
Usually in horror movies, there's a lot of times there's characters who are like, I don't believe in that kind of stuff, and they don't believe until like the very end when there's like a monster right in front of them that's just like whacking them in the head.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's a very slow burn. There are times where it's too slow.
Yeah.
but it never.
episodes 3 through 6.
Yeah, they're pretty slow.
slow.
They really take their time.
I mean, it starts off pretty quick. Episodes 1 and 2 are just like boom, 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 boom.
Jason
boom,
Bateman
boom, boom.
episodes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: Jason Bateman's only in the first 2.
Yeah,
I think he's in the first 3 he's in a flashback in 3.
Yeah, but I bet you he only did a couple weeks worth of shooting for those.
Yeah,
like 3 or 4.
But he was also directing, so.
Right, and producing. So he's still involved with the show, and he's in all the promos for it still.
Yeah,
but
he's dead.
But the cool thing about that is that it's Ben Mendelsohn's character, who's ostensibly
he's the audience.
Yeah, well, he's the main character. I was going to say, objectively, I guess. Like he's the main character, I guess. But him and Cynthia Erivo, who's great in that show.
She is fucking
She's
amazing in that show.
He's good. He's good in everything.
Yeah,
he just has this way of just kind of walking around and chewing scenery while he works, and he's so good.
Yeah.
But in the show, he doesn't believe in any of that stuff naturally, like anybody else would. And there's basically this doppelganger, the sort of beast. I won't get into any more of it, but throughout the show, he's pushed to the point where he's forced to believe in a very believable way. Yeah, I think.
And he doesn't believe, and there's a great scene in the episode that we just watched, and one of the other is he a cop or is he like one of the attorneys? I think he's one of the
which guy?
The red haired guy with like the mustache and he's
a private investigator.
That
works for that attorney.
So the PI, they're basically talking about like how they can believe in this beast doppelganger character. Yeah. And he's literally just like small bites.
You just take small bites.
He's like just take a little piece of information that you can reconcile in your own mind. Take that. Let it fuck like with you for a while. He goes, then just take another bite.
Yep.
Take another bite.
And only when you need to.
Yeah.
Because Ben Mendelsohn, he's like accepted it and he starts talking about, like, if this is true, then this is true. And he goes, you just take small bites.
Yeah.
Just take small bites.
He's like, don't let it like completely derail who you are, like as a person, your psyche or your beliefs, like on like existence and like everything.
Yeah.
He's like, just slowly work it in.
You take bites when you need to.
Yeah.
And it's the same, it's another way of that they defeat these horror tropes where the character that doesn't believe ends up like ruining things and then puts everybody in the sort of desperate situation at the end, like the third act. Usually it's the characters that like don't believe and then that's how they get in that situation. Yeah. But in this one, in the episode, either not the last one, but the one before that, his wife and the team they're working with finally like all like come to him and they're like, you don't believe and you're holding us back. So if you don't believe, you need to get the fuck out because we know what's going on.
Just stay home. Don't come with us. Don't help us.
You're slowing us down.
Yeah.
And I liked that because normally they would be like, oh, Alec, we get why you, or not Alec, whatever his
I don't fucking know what his name is.
Maybe it is Alec, but
his name?
Yeah.
It's not Alec.
Kelly is one of them, but
it's like John. It's something super just like,
that makes sense. But they're basically like, you, like, as much as we, like, you know, want you to help, you can't.
Ralph Anderson.
Ralph, that's what it is, yeah.
Alec
is one of them.
Little goose. Alec Pelly is the guy who does that quote that we were just talking about, the small bites.
Oh, the red-haired guy.
The small bites guy.
Yeah. So they basically tell him that. I love that. It defeats a lot of horror tropes. It's in a good way. Stephen King's work almost always does.
Yeah.
Stephen King, that's probably what we should talk about. He's fucking
the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's definitely the GOAT of horror.
Lovecraft is H.P. Lovecraft, dude.
I mean, who's had more successful things put in movies?
But he wouldn't be there without Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I think it's, well, you know what it is?
He wouldn't be there without fucking, what's his beer of choice? Bud Ice.
Oh, Bud Ice.
Doesn't he drink like some obnoxious beer?
Yeah, he probably does. He also just like sits there like players metal and just writes. But
what a lunatic that guy is.
You know what it is? It's not actually that. It's like Red Berenson or like Bobby or what's it called? Gordie Howe and like hockey. These guys were like really good and they laid the groundwork for Wayne Gretzky to be the best.
Yeah.
Who
laid the groundwork for Alan Ovechkin to be amazing.
Yeah. And so like without Gretzky is clearly the best. Nobody's even close.
Yeah.
Stephen King is the same way in horror and like he wouldn't be there without Lovecraft. But
Stephen King's putting up fucking numbers.
Well, yeah, because Lovecraft, when he did it, he was like this. He was like
revolutionary.
And people thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
And like he was weird and he was writing like the Call of Cthulhu and all this stuff. And like people thought he was crazy and like they didn't understand him. And so then because he went through all that, Stephen King could like stand on the shoulders of that giant and become the giant that he is now.
Yeah.
And he is the GOAT because of that. So like you needed Lovecraft, and let me tell you, Lovecraft is incredible. And I would argue maybe like a lot of his stuff feels more original, because a lot of Stephen King stuff will kind of run together. He has these big themes that he plays with a lot. And Lovecraft's a lot of times it's like really, it makes you, because it's written in like an older sort of like style and stuff, it feels more creepy almost. But Stephen King stuff is just
because they're almost
timeless.
like old school, like nursery rhymes kind of.
Yeah. And Stephen King's On Writing is the best book on writing that's ever been crafted, I would say.
Ever been Lovecrafted.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Nick just moved the mic to do basically a rim shot. He just moved the mic away from the mouth.
Yeah. we both keep doing that. We keep moving the mic away and making the noise we say. I would say, yeah, bam. I would do. You know what's funny too is I think Stephen King also is super cool because he does that thing where you can pay $1 for his short stories if you're a student, and you can make a short film based on any of his short stories. And that way you can be a student film coming out of college that's based on a Stephen King short. You can have that in your credits, and all you have to do is pay $1, and he has to get a copy of it so he can watch it with his family. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
He's a pretty cool dude, and he's got so many good things. Also some bad things, but
yeah,
but he just puts out so much weird outputting.
So much weird shit though.
Yeah, I love weird shit.
Giant orgy at the end of it.
That is not the kind of weird shit I like, but that is in it. Also, why wouldn't you just take that out? Like, remember when Batman Damned came out last year and you saw Batman's penis and people lost their mind?
Oh yeah.
And now they took it out.
Yeah.
And then
leave it in. I want to see Batman's dick.
See, but that's not even
you see
bad.
Dr. Manhattan's dick.
The second, yeah, well, that's also
that's a mythical piece.
Yeah. You see it swinging around in the movie. But then
what's her name has a giant blue dildo of it?
Oh yeah, Silk Spectre. But they like the hint of people even getting mad about like the hint of Batman's penis in Shadow. People were like, and then but there is a child orgy in it.
Yeah,
and they just haven't taken. You don't even really need it. Like you could.
It's like 7 children fuck another child woman.
It's like 7 pages long because it's each one of them takes turns having sex with her. Huh?
Where do they all finish?
Like.
Yeah.
Sexually?
Yeah. Where do they come?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it ever addressed?
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
we're talking with that many people, there needs to be some level of cum management.
I mean, you know.
Where are they putting it?
Probably in there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know.
So then all the other guys are just churning butter?
I think they are, yeah. Yeah, it's gross. We're talking about 12-year-olds.
It's so gross.
13-year-olds.
Why did he put it in the book?
Because it's
why did I just do a Seinfeld?
Yeah, what about in the book?
It's in the book.
The point of that scene, I know, is to like bring them all to like they have to like regain the I forgot what the fucking name of it.
It's like a love of friendship thing, right?
Yeah, and there's like some weird name for it that he calls it in there. It's like the rite of or the ritual of Chud or Cthulhu or something like that.
Oh, I think it is Chud
or something like that.
Cannibal.
Cannibalistic humanoid underdwellers. Yeah. The movie Chud.
That's what Chud is.
I remember Chud. It's a good. I like those splatter movies. A lot of those.
I fucking hate
the
them.
old school Fright Night. I like the new Fright Night. I like
Fright Night's fucking funny as
it's
shit.
a fun little movie.
Yeah.
But so Steve, I was gonna say you could easily change that scene now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean,
you could have them rediscover their friendship. Just have them hold hands in a circle.
There's a reason. Yes. There's a reason why they took it out of the movie.
Yeah, there's no hint of it in the movie.
Well, there's
literally a couple. People were mad that they over sexualized her in that movie. I'm like, you should read the fucking book.
Yeah,
because they really over sexualized Beverly.
Would it make sense if they did it like when they were adults?
They don't. Well, the problem is they're lost in the tunnels under Derry, and they can't find their way out unless they all have sex with Beverly. That is literally the point of that scene. So that they can regain Chud or whatever it is.
They fuck and then a map falls out of like a portal.
Yeah, pretty much. And literally, it's like all of a sudden the last guy has sex with her, and they're all just like, and that is the way out, pretty much.
For real?
Yeah, I have it right there.
Oh my Christ.
Yeah. We could, that's another scary one.
Oh, Stevie King.
Yeah.
What a weird guy.
The Shining, that's another scary. I'm just listing scary movies now.
Dude, The Shining is fucking cool. I told you how fucking scary it was staying at that hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed at the Shining Hotel.
Stanley.
Yeah, the Stanley Hotel.
Colorado, right?
Yeah, it's in Fuck, what part of Colorado Springs is it? Not Colorado Springs. Oh well, somewhere in
Winter
Colorado.
Park?
No, it's like it's a fucking like tiny little town.
Denver.
And then there's just no, it's not Denver. And then there's just like this giant hotel in it.
Is it Boulder?
But no. But so that's the hotel
Salt Lake City, Utah?
Fucking, I'm gonna kill you. So Stephen King, Estes Park.
Estes Park, not
Stephen
Winter Park.
King
Estes
stayed
Park.
at like he literally did like what Jack Torrance did.
Room 2 something.
It's like 213 or something like that. But he his family was basically like the only people like staying in the hotel, and they stayed like in the most haunted room. They had all the rooms to choose from. But it's basically just like that's what that whole movie is based off of.
Yeah.
But like when we were there, like the wind was whipping because like you're up in the mountains, and it's like these old windows that have like room to move. And so like literally the wind was whipping, and it was like literally like shaking the whole fucking wall.
Oh, so
like there's a lot of like aspect. There's also, I was up for, I mean, hours and hours into the night because whoever was in the room above us, if there was somebody in the room, was pacing for, I'm not even kidding, 4 hours straight.
maybe it was a writer.
No, I legitimately think like, wait, were we on the top floor? I think we were on the top floor of rooms, and there's not supposed to be anybody above us. Because that's where a lot of the ghosts are said to be on the tip top floor, because that's where all the maintenance people and their families all lived. They all lived like up there. It was like an attic, like in a hotel, and they all lived up there. That's supposed to be like one of the most haunted places there. But yeah, it was just weird vibes the whole time. Brandy freaked the fuck out and screamed when we were walking in the hallway, because the way that all their stairs are, they're like big, like kind of like circular rolling stairs where it's like a curved step, then there's like a landing for the floor, curved step, landing for the floor, and there's like a big like gap in the center. And as we were walking by to like go up the stair or go down the stairs, a maid from the top floor threw like a giant bag of laundry down all the stairs into like a chute at the bottom. So we just walked by. Well, we walked by and there's like a fucking giant bag that just flew like a foot from our faces.
Yeah, that would scare me. Yeah, yeah.
Brandy's like, "Wah!"
What a scaredy cat. I mean, come on, dude. You just gotta be ready for bags to fall by you like that.
It's a cool place. We did like a ghost tour when we were there.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
you talked about that on the pod.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, early on. Yeah.
And the fucking killer,
Yeah.
Dylan Roof for a Columbine shooter.
Yeah. I mean, so let's wrap it up with I'm trying to think
we're at like 2.
Yeah.
Or hour 45.
Let's just wrap it up with anything you're looking forward to scary movie wise coming out.
I'll probably watch that Conjuring movie.
Invisible Man. We'll probably go see that.
Invisible Man we'll probably go see. I'm probably most excited for Haunting of Bly Manor.
Me too.
I'm also super excited for the fucking finale of The Outsider.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
Psychological horror wise that I think comes out. It'll probably be next year. Gideon Falls.
Oh fuck yeah! I forgot that they're in pre on that, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I'm in development.
Yeah.
I would bet it'd be next year.
Gideon Falls. Oh boy,
I'm
talked about
pumped for
that
that
comic
one.
last week on the Potty Waddy.
Yeah, we did briefly talk about that.
But yeah, I'm super excited for that too.
Me too.
That's a creepy one.
So that's our horror episode for the canon of the podcast. I'm sure we'll probably touch on it
of the podcast.
Well, I feel like we've done we talk about dramas quite a bit. We talk about some comedy shit. We talk about all kinds of action shit and like superhero shit. And comic book stuff. So I feel like it's nice to have a horror podcast in there.
Yeah, we got to find another like weird like niche genre and do that.
I'm trying to think. What is another niche genre?
I don't know.
No.
What other genre? Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure one out.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Maybe sci-fi. We could do a sci-fi episode.
Oh, I love sci-fi. But yeah, so next week we're going to do the two final albums of My Chemical Romance.
Finally, the bookend it with the bookends of their albums.
Yeah, first and last.
So it's if you want to listen to them,
we're also going to do the band from first to last.
We will. Whose lead singer went on to become
Oh shit, Skrillex.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Sonny Moore. So we're gonna do. If you want to listen ahead of time, we're gonna do. I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, as well as conventional weapons. So you can find Alex on the Instagram at AUGGIEPANU.
Yes, and you can find Nick Lanham at the Nick LANHAM.
Yep, and you can find Ethan at his what's it?
ECC Squid. Is that what it is?
Well, I was just gonna say his Instagram. I thought we'd be nice for once.
Oh, okay. Do his actual Instagram.
What is it? I can't even remember.
I mean, he is a friend of ours.
It's Pale Kid Tony.
No, it's Can CAN.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Can Ethan?
Yeah, Can Ethan.
He can be.
Yes, he
Can Ethan?
He
He could
Ethan
be.
can be.
And he
Okay,
should be.
but would he be?
Yes.
We can never know.
So next week we'll check in with My Chemical Romance, and we'll talk to you then, and we'll see you guys then. Goodbye forever. Goodbye.
I love you.
I know.